Do you believe that an independent Scotland can still end child poverty by 2020 as per the current government pledge?
Great question, in case everybody didn't hear it. The government pledge was to end child poverty by 2020. I don't know if you're aware of that. Child poverty has increased each of the last 2 years and is estimated to increase by 500,000, 50,000 in Scotland, 500,000 across the UK as a direct result of the UK welfare cuts. We in an independent Scotland have got a much better chance of ending child poverty than the UK ever has. That's a fact.
Quoted Tony Benn earlier on, but Tony Benn was asked when he was in the Labour Party if he was a socialist. Tony Benn said, "I can only change things to the inside." And he spoke about in the last speech a wee bit, and I've heard bits in that before, is this globalisation, where, like, how do we affect things on a world scale? Because us getting rid of tracking, and all that, I agree, it shouldn't be there for us spending the money. But what difference is it going to make movement for the Clyde to Manchester or doing to Liverpool? 3 bombs go off in Liverpool, doesn't matter if you're out of a mess, or something affect you. If you know better, she can tell I'm no, yes, so I feel quite nervous being up here. But I want to know, like, as an independent Scotland, how will we have that influence that, as Britain, we already have that? We're on the Security Council of the United Nations, we've got that there, and it's a permanent seat, and with the veto and all that, which we should have, we should have the democratic and that, but how would we have that influence as Scotland?
Is it Ryan?
Ryan. Last night, so
oh, thanks, Ryan. Ryan, I'm very, very pleased to get your question, and again, a bit like Paul earlier, courageous, and thanks a lot for it. I hope you don't mind, but I was smiling when you were speaking, because I'm not sure you even believe the point you're making. Because you said we're going to lose our influence, and I had to start laughing because I'm thinking to myself, what influence? What influence have we got? You know, what? Britain used to be called Great Britain. That's when we had an empire. We've not got an empire any longer. We are laughed at across the world if the truth is told. We're no longer either the feared power or even the respected power. If you consider, and you talked about having a vote, a permanent seat in the Security Council, what did we do with it? We voted to bomb Afghanistan and invade Iraq. That's what we did with it. I think we should be ashamed of what we did with our influence. I think, in terms of changing anything, I remember reading a wee bit of the Chris Bonington book, he climbed K2, he was the first man to conquer K2, and he made a wonderful, very, very straightforward statement. There's an old old Chinese proverb about it as well. He said when he was asked how he started to conquer K2, he says by taking the first step. And in terms of Scotland having influence in delivering the things that you seem to care about, Ryan, and I think you care about nuclear disarmament, you probably care about poverty, you care about living wages, you care about equality. I've got to say, we're at the start of a bridge just now. And across the bridge is the new Scotland that we want to build. Voting for independence on 18th of September isn't a leap across the bridge. It's a first step on the bridge. I'll tell you what, it's a step nearer to that equality than will ever be within a UK situation. I listened to my friend George on the telly the other night there, debating with Jim Sillars, and he had a bit of a go at Jim by saying what is on the prospectus is not what Jim Sillars stands for, it's what the SNP stands for, and then he proceeded to attack the SNP as a right-wing party, etc., which is actually basically politically wrong. And I've told George to his face, he's out of touch with Scottish politics as far as I'm concerned. He's out of touch with the reality on the ground, because the SNP isn't the Tartan Tories of the 70s. The SNP is a left of centre party, Left of centre party I've got big problems with and big debates with. But to call Nicola Sturgeon a Thatcher in a kilt, it's just rubbish. It's a cheap shot that actually isn't befitting a man of his intellect. That's the truth of the matter. But George made the point that, no, that's not what's on the prospectus, and where are you going to put the weapons? Well, of course, where in England is ready to take the weapons? Nowhere in England is capable of taking the Trident nuclear submarines. And what I'm saying, loud and clear, is I don't care if we've got anywhere to take them. What we're saying is we're not having them any longer. That's the reality. And I tell you who will welcome that. Everyone on this planet that believes in peace and nuclear disarmament will celebrate when Scotland votes for independence, because it will be a step closer to nuclear disarmament than staying within the UK. That's what I'm saying.
I'm Julie. I'm a local business owner, and it's just a comment rather than a question. You hear a lot in the papers and in the media about fear and a lot of businesses wanting to leave Scotland. I'm exactly the opposite. I'm maybe not as big as they, but I think I'm just as important. I don't employ MD, I'm just a sole trader in a small shop. Just as important as the big companies, and I have absolutely no fear whatsoever. I can't wait for September. I'll be voting yes, and I don't kid myself. I don't expect the day after the 2 years to pass and the day after for me to be rich and make loads of money. I know the whole country's bankrupt. I know Scotland's going to be struggling after the yes vote, but I want my customers to come in and be responsible for their own pound. I want, when I order from Scottish companies for my shop, my pound to stay in Scotland, and when my customers come in to me, my taxes to stay in Scotland.
Thanks very much, Julie. I think that was an excellent, positive question to finish a wee question and answer on it. I hope if there are people with questions, I'll no shoot away. I'll hang about and try and answer any questions that you have. And obviously, if you want the pictures as well, Sheridan, not a problem, and we'll do that. I think Julie made the point there about being a small business. I had the pleasure of speaking at a debate at Glasgow University a couple of weeks ago with a woman called Michelle, is it Monahan? No, she says she's going to leave Scotland if we vote for independence. That's a good reason to vote for independence, but I mean, your man Paul Daniel says he will never come back to Scotland if we vote for independence. Brilliant, I'm hoping to do that one. Michelle Monahan of Business for Scotland, and it's an organisation that brings together small businesses that support a yes vote. 1,500 small businesses. 1,500 small businesses are signed up to that organisation. They recognise that there is a great opportunity awaiting us in an independent Scotland. This isn't about doom and gloom. This is about hope and expectation. And I would hope, brothers and sisters, that what we do from tonight is that we, if we've not made up our minds, and I would appeal to somebody like Ryan, who probably articulates a lot of people who are maybe Labour supporters, but aren't sure yet. They listen to what the Labour Party is saying and they're worried because their natural inclination is to support the Labour Party. I would argue that we have an opportunity to do in Scotland what we would love to see done in any other country in the world. If this was Cuba, Nicaragua, Palestine, everybody in the Labour Party would be saying, go for your independence, good luck, we support you, we back you. But in Scotland, somehow it's different. It's no different. We have the opportunity to create a new and a better Scotland. I've got a lot of political inspirations, and I want to finish by referring to two of them. One of them is John McLean, and not all of you will have heard of John McLean. And an independent Scotland, along with the other things I'm going to be fighting for, I'm also going to be fighting for real political education in our schools, so that we actually learn about our own history, our rich history, of the likes of John McLean, who was a Clydeside socialist who opposed the First World War, who was imprisoned for sedition, sentenced to 5 years in 1918 for opposing the First World War. He said there is only one army worth joining, and it's the working class army of socialism. He said that what we needed in Scotland was a Scottish Workers' Republic. Brothers and sisters, John McLean said that in 1922, died in 1923, unfortunately, only 42 years of age. I think we need a Scottish Workers' Republic as well. He said, we're out for life and all that life has to offer. That's the positive vibe that we should offer tonight. We're not going into this referendum in September 18, where he's doing, ashamed that we're not taking an opportunity. We're marching into this referendum. We're just out and our heats up because we're proud that we're taking the opportunity that's been presented to us. Malcolm X is the other inspiration I want to finish with. The great civil rights campaigner who said something that I think is a message to all those that are on the fence. If you don't stand for something, you might just fall for anything. Yeah. Brothers and sisters, let's stand together, proud, tolerant. We're no better than anyone else, but they're no better than us either. Let's stand together, brothers and sisters. Let's become the crusaders. Let's become the campaigners. Let's become that civil army of campaigners that delivers on September 19th freedom for Scotland. Thanks very much.